Good morning, Beth.
So
How
nice
are you?
to hear you.
Yes, it's nice to hear you. We're gonna kill the video for this so that I am guaranteed to have enough bandwidth. But it's lovely to see you.
Oh my God.
It's
Oh, you're going to get a giggle before you get on as I'm trying to adjust the camera. So this is great.
Beauty. Hello, Laurel.
Hello, darling. Okay,
We're
here we go.
we're gonna have so much fun
So
without
much fun.
no video
So
though,
much
so I
fun.
have bandwidth. And
Okay.
I love hearing your smiles and seeing them too temporarily.
Okay, I'm cutting out. You'll hear me. Here we go.
All right. Cool.
Hello, my sweet friend.
Hello, darling. So,
This is
Beth,
Yes, Laurel.
if I need to, I'm going to text you. Is that okay? Like text, so it doesn't interrupt you and I don't interrupt the call?
Sure.
Okay.
It'll interrupt anyway, so just spit it out.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, sometimes I don't want to interrupt if she's in a flow. You know what I mean? Okay, I'll just talk. That's
We're
fine.
just going to go, Laurel. Spontaneous, instantaneous.
Okay, I'm with you, baby.
You sure are. It's wonderful.
So I showed up an hour early. I do that.
Mhm.
I was born 3 months early. I was the first one there for my citizenship ceremony. I beat the people that were setting up. They said, come back in 90 minutes. And I said, okay. And at 75 minutes, I'm standing there because that's what I do. I'm curious what we do today because I want to give you guys the key. Fuck it, you guys are in charge. Let's do it.
Well, 20, before we start, we both want to ask you something because we want to make sure you get the most bang for your buck with this so that you can use the video. So my question for you
Funny, Laurel.
my question is, who is this for? Is it for people that don't know you and don't know Neville? Or is it for people that are in your orbit?
I want to keep this in the recording if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Because I get we've got a tremendous opportunity to walk into this and just walk into it. I met Victoria by walking into a room. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Okay.
And it took about a whole 10 seconds, as you know, for the universe to disintegrate. So, surprise, surprise.
Okay.
So let's dance, Laurel.
I'm dancing, baby. The music's on. Loud.
So 20, here's one thing I've been playing with, and it's that nasty F word, not the one we may be thinking of, but the fear. And I remember a counselor telling me, a therapist, that it's future events appearing real. Where I feel fear is from past events appearing real. And I know it's my imagination going silly, like PTSD we've talked about several times, but can you chat just a little bit about, like, I'm in a state, right, and I'm flowing, and then something happens, a speed bump as we refer to it. And
so does this show up in content? In other words, there's a black guy kicking my head in for me, or does it show up in like more of a feeling like fuck or whatever?
Yeah, it's almost like, no, I've burnt this to the ground. Why are you still coming in? And why are you hanging around when I know this isn't happening right now in the moment? And it's based upon old stories. And so when I know what to do, but I can't, when someone says to you, I can't shake this, what do you say?
Cool. I take as much as I can from every moment so that I have magic. And I'm lighting a cigar. I almost never have 2 cigars in one day because they're really freaking expensive in Australia. You hear I got a story going on. I used to smoke 2 cigars a day in the US, no problem, man. Like it was, a good day was 3. I just have enough spare time to do that. Now it's a different story. I really get PTSD is the imagination out of control, and it can happen with content or process. I think
Mhm.
content's easy. I very rarely see a black guy wearing brown here in Australia. So I'm not going to have a trigger like that. And even if I did, I wouldn't have a problem with it because the process is gone. We really get to notice sensation is the antidote for emotion. Emotion, as far as I can tell, is the commingling of complication. That's what shows up today. The commingling of complication. And in other words, life's pretty simple in this moment. And I find myself wanting to smoke a cigar with you guys. I wanted to smoke a cigar with you guys an hour ago. And I sat down in the chair and I put my cuddles on and I went, fudge sickles, man. I don't have a smoke. And I ran over to the house. It's like 1 minute two. I ran. You guys hear that? I ran.
I hear it and I feel it, 20, considering I know.
Yeah, considering I couldn't walk without a stick 2 years ago.
Right.
And I ran. And I got there and Victoria's like, what's up? I said, I want to smoke for the call. And she goes, didn't you say it's at 8? I said, yeah. She goes, it's 7. So we're going to have patterns that could be preparation, could be preventative, could be enhancing our lives positively. And that all comes from the mind trying to order and organize things. In other words, stories and safety, because a story is told in an order. Spring, summer, fall, winter, first, second, third act. There's so much to storytelling, as you guys know. But a state, on the other hand, a state is sensational. And sensational being the antidote for emotional loopiness. There's your key. Can when that's happening, this is going to sound like a physical thing, like we're selling the pearl, but we're not. While that's happening, remember that little $7 speed call? Can you just gently, slowly spread your fingers a little bit while feeling like they're in taffy? So there's a little bit of resistance to that. And can you feel the separation in the bones in your 7th cervical spine? And suddenly you're here and you're able to hear those echoes as echoes. And it's like, yeah, there's nobody kicking my head in right now. Here's another one. Here's my chronic one. My mom and dad split up after 7 or 8 years of marriage. Guess what I did all my life?
Yeah.
Every 7 or 8 years, time to go.
Yeah.
And if we notice the pattern, we can go, all right, Victoria and I have been together 15 years now. It's about time for the second revolution of the pattern wants us to split up, because that's what I do. And I notice that that's not lurking anywhere in me now, because the last time I sat with it and I spread my fingers and I let my vertebrae, you hear it? Instant state akin to sleep. And I just go right into, how can I bless someone with a 1-sip simple?
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, that's great. Laurel, go for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was so great, Beth.
Thank you.
So 20, I've been with you for a long time and I think about you a lot. And sometimes I'm in situations and I think, how would 20 react to this? And I was just listening to the MMD, the one where you were asked to, somebody wanted, you were talking about your memory and you have a really good memory, but somebody wanted to study you and they called it not a memory. It's how you order things. What is exactly what it was?
The sacred order?
No, it's how you think.
Okay.
Yeah, access.
You have access, that's the word.
Okay.
And so, but here's my question for you, because you're also part human. And when you get tripped up, I mean, there's got to be times in your life where it's like, fuck. And I want to know what happens to you in those moments and how do you shift your state so quickly? Or do you shift your state quickly?
You know what is, you've been to the pool,
Mm.
and you've been here on the property. And when I go to the pool,
I
I
haven't
tell you
been to
what,
the pool.
you haven't been to the pool. I thought you came with us to
No,
the
you
pool.
weren't
Oh,
swimming when
buggers,
I
man.
was there.
Oh, bugger, man. Okay, so sorry. Well, that means you got to come back.
I gotta come back.
Mhm.
So when I go to the pool, invariably people say you're so positive, and I always say, except for when I'm not. And they go, there are times when you're not, and I said yes, and the whole universe explodes. And I think they think I'm joking. I'm not.
No, there is a combustion.
Yeah, yeah,
But keep going.
we did that little call. We did one in Remarkable, and then we did an open call both, where we explored the name of Jesus Christ. And what showed up in both of those, or all three of those, because we did three of them actually, was something is always consuming something. And
Yep.
whenever I realize I'm on the wrong end of the consumption, you get that just showed up, that laughter. That's what I do. I love the phrase "the guru's giggle," and I'm not saying I'm a guru, but I just might as well. I think a real guru just giggles because they go, "Oh, look at me fucking go," and there's part of the process. It's an instant dissociation because it's like, "Oh my fucking god, look at me fucking go! I just wiped it all out," and then I can experience "Let there be light." I lose it a lot more often than what people know. And being willing to be able to notice that I lose it so fast, it now enables me to pick it up. It's sort of like whenever I throw punches. When I throw a punch, it's very explosive over a short distance, a very fast flick of time, and then I'm a rag doll. And when I first joined the gym and I was smashing the bag, I'd walk up to the bag and the guys are like, "What's this guy fucking doing?" You know, the old 85-year-old boxers who were tough as nails. And at first, I just feel the bag for about an hour. Yeah, 10 minutes a day. I just want to feel my bag. I want to understand it so that I'm safe with it. And then the next day, I come in and I'm doing a little bit of stuff, and they're going, "Hey, if you want to learn how to punch, let me know." I'm like, "Hey, thanks, pal. Appreciate that." And on day 3, I touch the bag, and the whole frame shakes. And they go, "This guy fucking knows something weird." And I do. Being able to unleash that over a short distance in a very small period of time allows me to go totally fucking insane, quote unquote, without auditory. If there is auditory, it's a fucking grunt. Bah, fuck, done. Otherwise, the stories linger. I love auditory, as you know. I adore storytelling and speaking, and 4 million podcast listens almost now. But there's something about when we can let lightning strike, we don't become a victim of the thunder.
Wow. Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you correctly,
Yes.
you're saying, fuck shit, just go dive right into it, whatever you're feeling. Just go into it and let it be, let it express itself, and you're fully with it. And if you're fully with it, then you will get to another place through that. Is
There
that
was
correct?
there was a podcast episode I just did this week, and Bruce breached the fence. And right at the last 7 seconds of the podcast, the voice of God tells Bruce to come back. And Bruce is, and it wasn't mad, it was a command.
Yeah.
If I roll through a roundabout, and you've seen our roundabouts, I bet you once a week I've got someone trying to kill me in a roundabout. And the wrath of God shows up. But it's lightning fast. Victoria will hear me make a quick comment, and if the person is looking at me, they just got smashed with lightning. And I can pretty much guarantee they will never fuck up in a roundabout again. And then I'm talking about picanha and pork belly, and it's so rapid. But we've got to let it go through us rapidly, so that it doesn't become part of our stories. And this
it's the Gur giggle and go for me. 20. We're a Gur family, and it clicked. How fast that can actually move me.
It's the pebble being dropped in the pond, plunk, and the ripples go on forever. but the stone hits the bottom pretty quick. Plunk. And then, but if I turn the anger 90 degrees or the upset 90 degrees, that ripple just keeps rippling.
Oh, that makes total sense. You know what I do when I get really angry? Like really, it's frustration usually.
Mm.
I break things. I slam things. Nobody believes me. Nobody
believe
believes
you.
me. And I've taken a mouse. Beth knows this story. A mouse, and I smashed it because I couldn't get something to work on the computer. And it's a joke now, you know, that I'm gonna break another mouse. But I get that. It's just I get really physical. I slam cabinets and I get through it pretty quickly.
So you could go to the op shops, the Salvation Army stores, and buy used mice for like $1.
Used what?
Used mice for $1.
Oh, I could do that. I could get bottles
yeah.
and smash them somewhere.
Yeah, I'll just take those 20 mice, please. What are you going to do with 20 mice? Smash them.
I can breed them.
Yeah, we're just going to smash the shit out of these babies. Yeah, they do breed like bunnies, though.
You know what I mean by mouse.
You know what's funny is, Laurel, you said that we were chatting about that, about the mice, and it reminded me of you when we were chatting about that, and you made the comment in our call about the monkeys taking up the space.
Oh, the monkeys. We're talking about the monkeys. By mice, I meant the computer mouse.
Oh yes, I know, but it reminded me
of the monkeys.
that.
Yes, we were talking about the monkeys. We had a whole conversation about the monkeys. Yeah, and I said the monkeys fill in the space. When there's space, they jump in.
Yeah. That's why we got to watch them. If we listen to the monkeys,
right?
One being rational, the other being emotional, they're just going to hijack us. It all becomes talk radio, and it's all Rush Limbaugh and the other guy, Howard Stern.
Well, it's when we listen to them and we think that's real.
Yeah, we do.
They seduce us. They seduce us.
Yeah, the monkeys will do that, but if we watch them,
right,
it's like, oh yeah, there they are. They're having their shit show. We've got so much more speed and bandwidth when we watch the monkeys, and when we listen to the 12 disciples.
Mm. Yeah. Speaking of that, what are you playing with next year's Remarkable? Any sneak peeks?
I think we're just going to call it Sacred Speed.
I like it. I know everything's going to weave in beautifully, no doubt there at all. But I was curious as to what you were playing with as far as Remarkable.
Yeah. So I see the resource box for next year's Remarkable as in, here's all the goodies from 2024. Here's all the goodies from 2025. And I'd suggest referencing them often because there's just so much good stuff we did with the 2024 Awakened Imagination series.
Yeah.
And the 2025 12 Disciples. And 2026 devoted to Sacred Speed because there's so much argument in the world now. And an argument at best travels at 1,100 feet per second through the internet. But I don't see much vision in people. Yeah, their head is in the clouds. And I as I sit here pretty much every day and explore who the fuck am I and what am I here to do? I'm coming back strong to vision and ex-hostage. It's like I'm surrounded by PTSD and argument. And I know those territories really well.
And here's my next piece that weaves into this is prevention. You mentioned it earlier, and I noticed. Do you believe that there's a way to prevent PTSD or anxiety or depression? Not cure it, but just I'm not getting the right words here, but a way to handle it with a younger crowd, like teach this to kids.
Yeah, we almost got a lie. There was a course out years ago, Build a Better Girlfriend,
Hmm.
and it's sold like hotcakes. Wish I would have figured that out. And the course is all about how to be a real fucking man. But nobody wants to buy how to be a real fucking man. They do now. It's shifted a bit. But back then it was, hey, here's how I build a better girlfriend. Well, open the door, be polite, buy her flowers, treat her with respect. And it's sort of like
Yeah.
with a guy will rise to the level that he's respected. And when I've dealt with couples and dealing with couples counseling, quote unquote, is a bitch because it's like they just disrespect each other. And it's like they want some magical fucking toothpick. And it's like, radio, we got to teach you how to respect each other, even on this call. If you do it 1 hour a week, it might ripple. And
So even before that, 20, like even
Yep.
before that even occurs
For children.
for children, like
Sure.
teaching it so they know
So-
how to handle things. So there is, I don't want to say
Yeah.
there's no traumatic stress. I know we're human too. I'm not sure if I'm putting this
Yes.
down right, but
this is good.
I just feel like we've talked about children's books before, and I have a couple buns going, and
Yeah.
because that's what I see every day. I have Charlie, and I'm around children a lot, and of course I'm different with her than I was with my girls because here we are. But I can't help but think, like, schools teach what they teach. There's
Yep.
a children's version of 20 to be taught.
Yep. Cool. Let's do it.
I'm in.
All right. So
But,
let's do it. Let's do it later and let's do it now. So the nuns taught me how to prepare for the future. And I need to prepare for the future because there's a test Friday.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a test when Jesus comes back. And
Yep.
and there's always a test, right? And so
How you
life
finish
becomes
the
about,
race, right?
yeah, exactly. So it's about finishing a race, passing the test,
Yeah.
saying the approved answer. Like when they'd say to me the things about, like, you have 6 apples, and you had 2 apples. What do you got? Food for a fucking horse. I hate apples. Right? There I go. Right, I'm in trouble again. I think we need to do 2 things, and this goes back to the disciple Bart, head and shoulders above the rest. We educate the imagination out of people, and we teach them to worship the mind. And the mind is great. I love the mind. It's what got me in the chair an hour early and got me back here on time. I've got a sequence. Carry this shit, plug this shit in, put this shit on that shit. Right? That's the mind. But the reason why we're here isn't because of the sequence of minutes, even though we all did it. We all had mind get us in our chairs. We're here because we imagined something. And I told Victoria, I says, I'm not doing a call with Beth. I'm doing a call with Beth and Laurel. And she's like, oh my God. I said, yeah, it's going to be great. I pissed in the garden twice today thinking about that. Oh, yeah, baby. So I think we've got to do 2 things with kids. One, this is so good. You get access. I'm not pulling anything from memory here. I've got memories I'm sharing. But we've got to get them from right answer to right now. So we get them to the finger spread and the taffy experience everywhere all the time. Number 2, we've got to invite them to worship the one true God. We've got to share with them stories about, all these cigar smoking, imaginal people have changed the world. Yeah. And it wasn't their cigars. It was them. They imagined something. Like
it was the communion. It was.
Yes.
Yeah. It was the connection
Instead of, and the third one will be competition. Instead of everyone's a winner. So when I was a kid, it was Kathy Nesgoda and Monica Bandemeyer and a third one. I always wanted to be in the top 3. I'd be in the top 5. And after a while, I said, "Fuck it, I'll be in the top 10." I'll show up for school, but I'm going to master cryptography in 7th grade. Y'all can do what you do. I'm mastering cryptography, and I did. And that's where I became obsessed with, this is what I want to learn. I'll survive your shit, but I'm going to learn what I want to learn. So we've got to take kids from the right answer to right now. We've got to invite them to worship the heroes of imagination. We can find them all through history. So we're learning them history again. And the third bit, I lost.
Wonderful.
There'll be a hit in the recording, or it'll show back up. I think it's the willingness right now. It shows up as the willingness to lose.
Oh, I love that.
I put up the ad for we're doing they call this Sunday on Money. You're both invited. It's an optional, and you got to pay for it. And I put it up as, hey, Sunday, September 25th, 2025. Y'all get the joke?
Wait, say it again.
Yeah. Hey, join us this Sunday, September 25th, 2025.
Well, it's not the 25th
It's not.
Sunday.
Oh yeah. And why aren't people signing up? Oh, it's already over. I went, oh, fudge.
Oh, I
sandwich,
didn't even
man.
catch that.
So I do radio. Let me just yeah.
I love you.
Let me explode my entire universe. Have my grunt and giggle. Right, this is from this morning, and fix it. and then send out an email. Hey, we start in 48 hours and 49 minutes or something like that.
That's cool.
Okay, I want to jump in here for a second. Beth, I love your idea of this working with children, and it's actually something I've been thinking about for years. And I was thinking about it because children have such great imaginations and they're not taught not to use them.
Huge.
But I remember talking to a friend of mine who used to teach children, and I didn't tell her where I was coming from, but I was talking about how great children have imagination. And she says, yes, and you have to be careful that they don't stay in that world because it's magical thinking.
Yes.
So can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So magical shows up everywhere all at once. And rational Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we have them both because we're 100% human and 100% divine. But after, y'all ever date someone and then the magic stops? And the magic stops because it's Friday and this is what we do. It's lunchtime and this is what we do. It's 7 o'clock and this is what we do.
Farmers.
And that becomes the dominant. Versus we've got to keep inviting magical back, because I look at, I'm going to go COVID on you guys.
Okay.
They really got into, you got to get the shot so you don't get the loogie. And then they went, you got to get the shot so you don't get the loogie bad. And then they went, well, you got to get the shot so somebody else doesn't get the loogie. And you got to get the shot so somebody else doesn't get the loogie bad. You'll feel guilty if an 85-year-old grandma dies who's eating donuts every day for 40 years. And I just went, I'm sorry, but I tend to notice in the 50-some years I've been here at that point, shit comes and shit goes. And what we are is magical. Here's shit. I put the wrong fucking date on it. What if 3 people who would have signed up don't sign up? And I changed the ad copy because the ad copy sucked. It was good, but wasn't really great. So I ended up changing a couple things. And so what if people don't sign up because of what I did or didn't do? What if they die because of what I did or didn't do? Instead of all that, what's the magic I can be in this moment? The magic in this moment reveals we're seeking certainty by buying into stories of sequence. And what we really get to do is start seeing from sacred. I've got a flight check I do every time I get in a vehicle. That's just from being a cop. I just sit, as I walk up to the car, I've looked at the tires, I've looked at all the lights that I can see. I open the car door, I look around, I look in the back seat. I don't know why I look in the back seat, probably because you never know what's in the back seat. And as a cop, it'd be a hypodermic or a bad guy. And on the other hand, I just casually notice. I casually notice a lot more than a lot of people do. But I've got this pre-flight sequence that I get into when I get in a car. But why I get in the car is imaginable. I'm going to the gym to flirt with 50 people and to stretch my body and see how I feel after swimming 10 laps. And so it's that curiosity that gets drummed out of us whenever we keep getting told, that's all nice and dandy, but if you don't do the right thing, you're going to be living homeless under a bridge when you're 90, stealing cat food. Versus, what if I flew to Australia to work with some Forex traders for 2 weeks and I walked into a room and discovered over the 2 weeks that I was going to stay here forever? My rational monkey relatives hate me because I left the hollow. They think it's weird if you marry someone from the next community over. We're Pennsylvanians. We stay in town. We married the girl that we met when we were 7. After running out of women to marry in the neighboring villages, I came here. They think I've lost my mind. Maybe I have.
Maybe you have.
Maybe I have, and I'm okay with that. And I think that we really get to become not really risk takers, but risk makers. Here we are. I've never said that before. There's probably 7 things I've talked so far that I've never said before on our call so far. We're 32 minutes in, and we're weaving wisdom. In the world we're in Catholic school, it's who remembers the most right answers so they can do the right things and be the most successful. I remember very little. I seem to access a lot, but I access a lot more when I've got dance partners. And so when I say, hey, Beth, you want to do a dance? Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, can Laurel join in? Yes. And so we went from, so we're braiding. We've got a 3-braid braid going on.
And a strand of 3 is not quickly broken.
I love that graphic.
And you know what, 20, you just said something that I am alive when I'm on calls like this or group calls. This is it's just magical, right?
Yep.
And when I talk to Laurel or Christina or Lynn or Sarah or Coral, anybody, it's just that I've met through you is magical. And I think I want to be in that magical state more. I mean, I know I do. And that's where my frustration comes in because of the human pieces of me, the responsibilities, if you will, or however we want to say it. And I want more magic.
Yep. So my model that's slightly stolen and heavily modified farmer, hunter, warrior.
Yes.
90% of the people, 95% of the people on the planet, depending upon what you look at, do not have a significant amount of the DRD4, DRD2, with the R7 allele gene. Right? The other, there's for the people that love that internet shit.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
They're farmers. They're Homo sapiens. The only way someone can really stick around with me is to be a hunter or a nomad. In other words, have a significant amount of Neanderthal gene in them. And I just notice it constantly now because I know how to look for it. And what happens in our culture is the hunters are seen as insane by the farmers. But the hunters are the Fords and the Edisons and the Teslas and the Churchills. And some people don't like them, and that's fine. But when you look at the people that rock and roll the universe, we're hunters. We find ourselves just making connections and seeing patterns that people don't see, and we tell them. And after a while, it's like, well, we are told we either have ADHD or ADD, or we become alcoholics or criminals, cops or firefighters. We need to feel alive. Postal worker. Yeah, we need to feel alive. We need stimulation. And the best way to have stimulation is to stimulate. And what happens is when we're hunters living in a farmer world, and people say, just sit the fuck down. Just be normal for once. Can you settle down? Can you
Settle down.
just,
Oh, that's a trigger. Don't
Oh,
tell me
yeah.
to settle
yeah,
down.
Calm down.
Yeah.
can you do the stable thing? And
Nope.
I go, doesn't appear
Nope.
that I can.
Nope.
I left hanging out in the corner at the pool because they had the same conversations every day for a year. And
Yeah.
I thought, and you guys think it's a new conversation every day. I'm just puzzled. My box is just, and that was a great move for me because it reveals me. I get to chat with everyone. I'm a hunter who's become a warrior. A warrior honors their nature as a hunter, probably becomes a firefighter or a policeman instead of a criminal or an arsonist. If we honor what we are, we imagined up, and you're both hunters, you imagined up a body with a significant amount of Neanderthal gene in it, the nomadic gene. And you manifested up this body, so you might as well honor what you manifested up. In other words, I manifested up an Ames chair, so I sit in it. And with,
I have a
if we-
stickly chair,
there we go.
and
And
I sit in
if-
my chair.
If we can teach kids to honor this
Yes.
instead of beating the shit out of them,
Yeah.
wow, what happens to the world then?
Because their fascination is so real in Raw 20. They haven't been conformed to any other body. You know, they're so fresh to life, for a lack of another way to say it. But yeah.
That's why I say their imagination is so fresh, and
Yes.
and
until we give them Ritalin.
Exactly.
right, or just tell them that they have magical thinking. That's really the issue, is like, no, you can't think like that anymore because you might fall off a cliff because you cannot fly.
Yeah, it scares the hunters. I'm sorry, it scares the farmers.
But just play with me here for a second. If kid thinks that they can fly, right, they're going to jump off a cliff and they're going to fall, right? So that's where people think you cannot fly, because that's magical thinking. Does that make any sense?
I've run through the woods and come to a cliff and leapt probably 35 feet horizontally because I had to, otherwise I would die. And it's not that I can go, hey, watch me do this, Laurel. It's that in the moment, I didn't imagine dying. I imagined running. And I leapt off this cliff and landed. And then it took me hours to find a way back to the first side and notice the explosion in the ground that I left behind. It's sort of like the mom that lifts the car off the baby.
Yeah.
In theory, if you bend and twist wrong, picking up a 5-pound object, you're going to blow a disc. And people go, blow a disc. And they do. And I'm not saying kids should be reckless. What we need to do is honor the fantasy of flying. Yeah, and I've lost some people over the years that go, they're just nuts about. Probably 80% of the people that I've met that are nuts about comics, the Marvel comic characters, leave me because they want to manifest fantasy because they don't believe they can manifest what they actually want. So it's like, well, I'm imagining flying. And that's like, well, good fucking luck with that. I've done it. And I've also healed cuts in an instant. And I've also had cuts take weeks to heal. I've had cuts heal 90%, then go back to 60%, then go up to 80% in minutes. I've watched them. And it's like, what is it? Yeah, this is also why I've been able to rebuild a hip, because I've discovered how malleable we are. The lady I taught years ago that would come to the Tai Chi class, I found out had a multiple personality disorder. She came with her shrink. And one personality only knew the first 4 movements. The rest got up to single whip about a third of the way through the first third. And it drove me nuts. And the therapist said, I've got to let you in on something. Shelley's a multiple personality. One personality has a scar and a blood sugar problem, and the other one doesn't. And one of them could only learn the first 4 moves, and the other one learned up to single whip. And I went, this is freaky, man. If a personality can change a body
Yep.
and
Yep.
and what they remember that fast,
Yep. Yep.
we should be teaching people how to have a happy, loving husband, happy, loving teacher, happy, loving puppy dads in a way that's functional.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I knew somebody in my 20s who was a, they don't call multiple personalities anymore, but she was, and it was amazing. And I had that same thought, is that the mind is that powerful, that if these different parts of the same person can have one's right-handed, one's left-handed, one could
Totally.
drink a lot of alcohol and not be drunk, shifted to the other personality, was completely drunk.
Yeah,
Right?
nice.
I think one might have been male even and the other female, I'm not so sure, but their energies when she shifted were completely different.
Yeah.
And I went, that's how powerful our mind is.
So I've got 3 minds. I got to make a distinction here. Happy, loving husband has a different mind than happy, loving teacher.
Yeah.
That they can, like a Venn diagram, overlap, but they're 3 different minds.
Yeah.
However, there's only one imagination that gives life to all those minds. We literally are the Elohim. We're the one made of many and the many made of one. Now, if you want to make an MPD, because my friend the shrink had a bunch of them. And I'm like, statistically, what are the odds to have a bunch of clients that do this? And so I sat in on some of their sessions. Said, yeah. This is my friend. He's going to sit. Yep, I'm going to sit in. And I'd sit in the corner and watch her make them. All she has to do is separate parts and pull the pin that connects all the parts. And now we've got 3 distinct personalities, like 3 circles that aren't a Venn diagram anymore. And I'm into Venn diagrams. This is why my core states are all happy, loving teacher, happy, loving husband, happy, loving puppy dad. And this goes back to Beth. If I can't be a happy, loving husband in this particular moment, happy, loving teacher or puppy dad shows up. And then in the next moment, I can be a happy, loving husband again. And it's that fast.
It's the identities, 20, that it just weaves right into that.
Yep. I got to learn how to sexify things because that 2015 course, Manifesting to the Max, when we go into the 3 core identities, almost nobody cares about that now. It's 10 years old. But my God, whenever you get the solution to feeling disconnected parts of yourself and being dysfunctional because I can't get in the mood, yeah, I've got a solution for all that. And it's a good one. And most people are going, teach me the right mind movie to make. So a guy emailed me this morning. And I'm going to make up the number in the car. All I want is 1.4 million euros in my bank account and a Lamborghini. I keep emailing you this, and I write back, yes, you do. He won't listen to me, so I'm not talking to him. And he may listen to this, and he may hear something. All I can do is imagine lovingly for the guy. But he keeps telling me, yeah, I did Manifesting Mastery course in 2023. It didn't work. I said, how do you know? I don't have my Lambo or my 1.4 million. I said, okay.
It runs so deeper than that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So much deeper. And that's where I am, 20, is you've taught me so many things that I just am so appreciative and thankful for, but it's just so different. It's literally, I think different. I move different.
Yes.
Clearing that space to allow me in that's always been there. You know, that piece that there's more out there, like on page 10 of Jumping Mouse that I fell in love with, that inner peace. So this guy, you know, I imagine him having that. It just runs a lot deeper, and it seems it's on the surface almost. I don't know.
It's really hard. So we're the ocean that contains the depths and the waves and the tides. And when somebody gets fixated on a tip of one wave, a problem shows up. The other problem that shows up is people go in the other direction. I'm the ocean. I got a lady telling me, I have no desires. I said, good for you. Well, why is that? Why is that all you say? I said, I'm happy for you. Oh, you sound like you're condescending. I says, what do you want me to say? Well, I want you. And it's like, hey, you got a desire here? No, I don't. All right. She's denying that she's got waves and tides.
Yeah.
And if we're the ocean, we've got to, one of the best things I did in the world, whenever I was stuck in Florida, God, I lived in holiday Florida. I felt like I was in prison. Thank Christ, my friend let me live in his garage. I got to hang with him. That was lovely. Then my other friend let me live in his attic. And then I left. Funny. Yeah, because we don't have a garage, a basement, or an attic here. Yeah, I live on that. I live on the land. But I needed all that. And I really got to explore, period. It was just one of those breaks from what do I desire? What do I hunger for? I hunger for these calls, and for the group calls, and the one-on-ones, and the 2-minute chats. I hunger for wisdom. In the old days, we had the buffalo, and the buffalo pretty much just got systematically destroyed. Think about that, by a system, right? If we destroy the buffalo, we can tame the people. And so they killed the buffalo. And then there was the songs about for the return of the buffalo. And then there was the white buffalo. And there's just so much to these little legends that are worth diving into. And I look at it all, and the buffalo is associated with the North. It's associated with wisdom. It's associated with wisdom being woven. It's associated with sweet grass, which smells sweet. Wisdom is woven. And again, here we are, 3 of us weaving wisdom together. And this is a sweet call compared to here's a bunch of data about how to feel it real, your 4-step program to manifest your Lambo. I'll even do it for you if you give me a grant. And I just go, wow, how about if we weave some wisdom, pal?
Yeah.
Hey, 20. I have a
Yes.
question for if you mind me just changing the subject for a second, because it's been buzzing around my head.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
You guys are running the call.
Okay, good. Well,
I'm just enjoying some coffee.
I'm thinking, like, of people I know that could really be helped by hearing this, and 2 people are popping into my head. One of them is a friend of mine, and I said, come visit me. I'm going to be in Mexico. To which she said, oh no, I'm afraid if I leave the country, they won't let me back in. And I have to bring a burner phone because I'm afraid that they're going to see what I've been saying on social media and this and that.
Right.
And to which I said, is that what you want to focus on? Like I said, what are the chances? And why don't you focus on the fact that that's not going to happen? And then another person, almost the next day, I'm doing these Shabbat dinners, and always when we have
lovely.
a dinner, I say, okay, tell me the highlight of last week. And that's how we start. And these are amazing people. And one particular person who is a minister, and she's just lovely. And I said, well, what is it that you want to do? She said, I really want to work and help some of the refugees, but I'm afraid because of ICE. And even though I'm a white, blonde woman who has money, I'm afraid if I really can work with this population of people, that I'm going to be in trouble. So both of them are almost saying the same fear, the same thing. I want to do this, but I'm afraid.
Yep.
What would you say to these people?
So the first thing I got to do is notice that they've fallen for stories. That's what humans do.
Yep.
And as divine, we live from states. So we've got to invite them. We've got to imagine them in a different state. Then they can hear a different story. So being in the state of business guy, I hear things that employees and retirees don't hear. and I hear things differently than they do. And so we get to them, first of all, of course, imagine them in a different state by imagining us in a, aren't you happy you joined remarkable.com, right? Yeah, just, yeah, it can be that simple and silly. I found myself at the gymnasium here, the naked place is what that translates into. So I'm in the room with all the machines, and this fellow Jamie starts talking to me because I'm talking to everyone, including him. And he says, "What are you doing?" I got me a little podcast. You know what? Okay. What is it? And I sent him, and he goes, "You got 3 million listens." Yeah. And you talk about Neville Goddard. Yeah. He goes, "I love Neville Goddard." Cool. And so another day I'm there, and this gorgeous light-haired redhead is wearing this beautiful cross. And I just said, I got to tell you, I love your cross and I appreciate your radiance. And she's the one that we started talking about the Shema. And so I walk out the other day, and these two are having coffee together. I just stopped by the table and I said, two of my favorite fucking people.
That's awesome.
I love you guys. See ya. And they're all 20. So it's, yeah, baby. I just find we listen to a story, and then we make it into a bumper sticker to be terrified by. Don't leave the U.S.
But don't
sadly,
you read the news? No, then she said to me,
don't you read the news?
news?
Yeah, the stories. Yes. Isn't
Don't
it
you
great?
read the news? Get your head out.
No, I don't.
Well, I read it so that I know what people are talking about, but I don't buy it, and I don't fall. I try not to fall into the fear.
So your state automatically rejects most of those stories, and your state will have you accept other stories. And even just sharing that with someone, I say, you know, there could be a I don't know. I just find that we have, the buffalo shows up a lot today with you kids. The wisdom is woven, and I love that you're having dinners, and I love that you both showed up here. This is a dinner. Wisdom is woven.
Here's the food.
My daily bread, Tony. This is my daily bread.
My daily bread. I should start making some of them videos again. I got pissed off when nobody fucking commented. It's like, oh, you guys don't want to fucking comment? Yeah, I'll do something different, kids. I can take that 60 seconds and do something else with it. But I do that, and we all do that. And we really get to notice, where am I a hostage? I love that I own xhostage.com, both variations of it. And I really get, a part of what I'm here to do is help people not be hostage to what they don't see as holding them hostage. In other words, Mr. 2020 vision thing. But I get that, and I love this, Laurel, something's always consuming something. And when someone's telling me bullshit, like the crazy lady at the pool the other day, she just keeps following me, talking about Trump. And I'm just like, all right. Yeah, I'm not really listening to her, but I'm having a lot of fun. And when she found me yesterday, she found me in the lobby, and she couldn't stop touching me. It's like I was playing pet the cat with her. And she kept coming back to the world of sensation instead of going into the world of emotion. And I think there's the thing, because emotionally, they want to, but they won't. Go to Mexico. Of course you want to go to Mexico. But I won't, because I won't get back in. I need a burner phone. I can't afford a burner phone. It's nuts. But on the other hand, if we can just, remember, a story is designed for us to entertain wisdom. And that's what a story traditionally is. We gathered around the campfire, and I'm putting out a podcast on this today. And we talked about, this is how I got the buffalo. This is how I didn't get eaten by the tiger. And stories came along with Homo sapiens. Neanderthals, we struggled. And then we started to mutate a little bit. We gathered in groups. And for whatever reason, as we settled down and mutated and became Homo sapiens, we figured out I can put a chicken in a cage, a cow behind a fence, and plant shit, and I don't have to be nomadic anymore. I can have 20 kids to help at the farm. As Neanderthals, we couldn't afford 20 kids because we were nomadic.
Mm.
And so we're inviting them to take a trip that they wouldn't trip. In other words, we're asking them to take a trip and leave the farm. Grandpa used to say, and I love this, yep, that woman, she takes a trip without leaving the farm. Right? Yeah. In other words, I won't go to Mexico because I'll go to jail.
Mhm.
Versus like a nomad goes, oh, fuck it, I'm
So
going
it's
to
not that
Mexico.
not that I'll go to jail. I won't be let back in the country.
Same thing.
That's the fear.
Yeah, same thing.
And I said,
Yeah.
you're an American. That makes no sense. Well, don't you read the news?
Yeah, they've got to lose their mind and come back to their senses. Sensations are the antidote for emotions. And I'm not against emotions. You all know that. Fuck it. I'm like, there's Laurel. I remember smashing up on you. You were walking the streets of Eltham, and I'm playing the Gary V theme song 3,000 times in a row that week. And I rock up, and you said something like, "Yeah, you're even playing that now." Said, yeah. That's all I got this week. And we chatted, and I think you said you were going to walk home to Gabrielle's. I'm like, all right, cool. Catch you when I catch it. But there's emotion. There's my friend Laurel. Cool. But there's also a world of sensation. Yeah, let me give you a cuddle. Let me give you a hand clasp, fist bump, something. We need those emotions and sensations. Otherwise, we get lost in the darkness of the cave, Golgotha. We go inside, we make up movies. And the mind movies, they either distract us from our dreams, or they fill us with dreads, or they're fantasies.
Or we live in fear.
Yeah.
I'll say live in stories. I love that I'm afraid to step out in front of the 902. In the event that I'm done here on planet Earth, I'll step in front of the 902. That's a bus. See ya. It was good fun. I joke about that, but it's also true. And I don't mean the literal bus, but it's good to have a fear of what's worth having a fear of. But when we become story oriented, to the point we forget that we live from states, we've lost it. We've lost half of us. It's like saying, hey, do you want to be armless or legless? Because one of them is your legs, one of them is your arms. You pick. Or how about right side or left side? Which side do you want to give up? Right side or left side? We came here in this world of the mind to experience sequence. And we live in this world of the divine so we can experience spontaneity and instantness. And everyone that says, oh, yeah, it's they look at me. I've been fleshitarian almost 2 years now. And they say, oh, yeah, well, that's to be expected over 2 years. I said, what were you doing 2 years ago? All right. So, oh, no, they blame my diet and time now. And the transformation happened in a second. And it ripples through time. And it drives me. I have no interest in carbs or veggies. I just eat flesh, fat, and fire, and I'm having so much fun with it. I got to put out the cow shirt. Hopefully you guys will buy the cow shirt.
Oh, I'll buy the cow shirt.
I can't wait to wear it to family
I'll buy
events.
one for Jason because he would definitely be. He could do this.
Beauty. Well, maybe I'll put the cow shit
Cow shit, sure.
I'll put the cow shirt on maybe Monday after the call. Let's see. Your Sunday, my Monday.
Oh,
Cool.
so cool, Tony. This is so fun.
I want another hour.
I know,
yeah.
right?
I have a list here with 4 more questions. I want another hour.
Well, we got to do it again, don't we?
I really do. I have some, like, every time you talk, I have another question. Not every time.
Good.
Not every time.
You have this archetype. We've all got. So we talked in Matthew, the month of Matthew, about desires are gifts, not goals.
Right.
And almost everybody turns them into a goal to get. But how do I get it? I make a mind movie, and they're screwed because they've gone into the world of story and sequence. On the other hand, happy loving teacher, that's a gift that I was given to me by me. And when I honor and dignify that gift, God damn, it's fun. And you guys both, my super squirrel Uh, and I need one for you, Laurel. Let's have it show up. The intuitive investigator is what I got for you right now. And you really are. That's part of
And
your
she's
gift.
a good hirer. She hires well.
I hire well,
She
yeah.
hires really well.
Nice. When we can take these gifts that we got, and that's how we give to the universe. And you guys, with your gifts, identities, have helped me give to the world. In other words, we wove wisdom here. We didn't just spout knowledge.
Mhm.
We wove wisdom to here.
Mm.
And so that's my button up. What's yours?
More, please. I can't wait to share. Just dance more. And yeah, I really appreciate this call, your time. It's just it's a beauty. I love you both. I mean, you brought us together and we're both in Maine. You know me, I'm people. I'm a people sorter, and I love that I know Laurel and she's 2 hours away from me, and that's because of you.
You guys are in Maine. And
Mhm.
here's another one that I'll give the stick to Laurel. Laurel Chiten says, hey, I'm going to do your course. All right. And I want to meet you. All right. I'm coming to Australia. All right. I'm coming to Sydney. All right. I might make it to Melbourne. All right. I'd like to meet you. All right. How can we do this? I go 5Ks from home. That's it. And Laurel ends up in Eltham. How the fuck does that
10
happen?
minute walk, a 10-minute walk.
Yeah,
It's-
I can look at the hill. I can see the
10-minute walk.
ridge.
Yeah.
I literally, I'm looking. If the hill wasn't there, I could see Gabrielle's house from here.
Mhm.
Wow.
And
It was
and
pretty crazy.
and it's like, oh yeah, there's a footpath. You're gonna walk the footpath and come
Yep.
here. This is.
Yeah, I
don't even have to
remember
leave
that
the
path.
house.
I remember
Yeah.
that path well.
How yummy.
Oh,
So cool.
yeah. But I do still have a list here, so we got to do this again.
Okay, cool. That's good for
Thank
maybe
you, Beth,
3
for
weeks.
inviting me to be part
Oh
of
my
this.
gosh, it flowed so well when I chatted with you, and then you said you'd love to, and I said, all righty, here we go.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
dropping
really
it to
fun.
20, and I knew he'd be all in. I just knew it in my heart.
It was really fun. We'll do this again.
We will.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Love you
Connie.
too.
Thanks, Beth. Love you too.
Love
Thank you too for being you and bringing your gifts to me and to your worlds.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You're my sisters from another mister.
Oh, yeah.
That's
we
my
really,
sister queen.
yeah.
Sister Queen.
Cool.
Sister queen.
I'll get this up today sometime. That might mean midnight for you guys, but it'll get up in the next couple hours.
No editing. You just
Nah.
gonna throw it up there? Okay.
Yep, I'll bang it pretty much from when I come on the call in case you guys were talking dirty shit before. And hey, I worked with nurses, man. Like, so ex-cop, prison guard, fit fucking guy. And I worked with nurses. And I'd take a break and walk out to the nurses area and blush. And I remember Tracy looking at me saying, look at him. Right. And I'm just going, Jesus. And they're like, this is how women's talk.
Chuck 'em
All
out.
right. Okay, you guys are awesome, man. I got along just fine. So
sure you did.
love you too. Thank you
Love
so
you.
much.
Funny. Love you, Beth.
Love you, Laurel. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
See
Thank
ya.
you.